Good morning, everybody. Welcome. Good to see you here. It is Monday the 20th, and I know this is a holiday for a lot of you, so you may be off work or whatever, but we're going to have a great session today. I'm going to talk about being a digital nomad. I didn't even know what that was. I was on a trip one time, and there was a guy, and this was like, gosh, I'm trying to think, 2000, maybe 15, 6, probably 15, 14, 15. And the guy said he was a digital nomad. And I said, what the heck's that? So we'll define what it is. But more importantly, I'm going to show you how you can actually do this. And I mean, travel the world, be anywhere in the world you want, as long as they have internet. They do have to have internet. And you can earn a great living. And I'm going to walk you through some of the things you can do, how you can do this, how it's done. A lot of good information today. Before we get started, don't forget to subscribe. Hit that subscribe button down there. Turn it from red to gray. As soon as you click it, it will change. And then you want to ring this bell, turn all bell notifications so you're notified each and every time I go live or if I upload a video. And make use of that chat box, guys. The more you get involved, the more you're part of the conversation, the better off you're going to be and the better results you're going to get. I've seen this time and time again. The people who get involved are the people who actually make money and who are successful. You can't be on the sidelines, right? And let action happen. It just doesn't work that way. You got to get in the game. And the best way to do that right now, since you're on this training, is to talk, okay? Introduce who you are, where you're at, what you're working on. Maybe you've got a question, whatever it is. Maybe you're a digital nomad and you want to tell us about it. Put that in the chat box. Now, if you're not watching this live, you'll want to use the comment section below. And you'll know if this is live or not, obviously. And then you want to put it in the comment section below. And that way I can come back, I can answer your questions, which I'm going to jump in there today too. So if you got questions today, right after this session, I'm going to go through and hit all the comments. So make sure you go ahead and get those in there too. And we'll get started, right? We'll get started. We'll see what we're doing here. Being a digital nomad is an interesting thing. I met a guy, like I said, I think it was 2014, 15. I can't remember. But he said he was a digital nomad. So what is a digital nomad? Okay. It's really a lifestyle more than anything. And while a lot of people talk about life as a digital nomad, as a social media glamorizes it, few people really understand what it means and how it's possible to earn money while traveling. So in this video, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you exactly what a digital nomad is and some of the jobs that they actually do and the steps that you can take to do the same thing. So if that's your interest, you want to get out your pencil, take some notes, okay? The travel bug is really strong right now. People want to travel. They've been locked up for a while, and they've been planning trips, and I'm really seeing a big difference now. Since I've been online, since 2009, so I'm going on my 13th year now. I've traveled a lot. I've seen a lot of different places. And the cool thing about it was when I traveled, I was still making money. It's not like I had to get in my car and drive somewhere and sit in an office for a certain number of hours. I was still making money. As a matter of fact, in 2019, which is right before the world illness, I don't know if we're allowed to say what it really is, but I was in 6 different countries and on 2 cruises in 1 year. Okay. And that's not a lot for some people. For me, it was a lot. But some people never stop, or some people will live in one country for 6 months and then another country for 6 months and then another country. I have a friend like that that's in Brazil now, and I've known him for years, and that's what he does. Or maybe every month or so you want to go someplace. I would say to be effective, and get set up and all that, you should probably stay 30 days in an area just so you get to know it. Now, a digital nomad, let's talk about what it really is. A digital nomad is someone who is able to move around whenever and however they want while using technology and the internet to make a living. Now, they may choose to live somewhere, like I said, for a certain period of time before moving on, or they may constantly wander. It gets expensive if you travel more than every 30 days, because travel costs you money, right? So, but a lot of people do that too. I'm just saying, usually 30 days is a good chunk of time, or longer. That way you get to know the area too, and you can see some stuff. But the term nomad can have a negative connotation, as if a person is just wandering aimlessly with no purpose, but that's not the case, okay? Like ourselves, so this term that's used is really used as location independent, okay? Which means that a person can choose to live or travel wherever they want. and their location doesn't affect their ability to earn a living. Okay, so that's how I would really define it. Now, there's a lot of jobs that will allow you to travel while earning money. Like, you could be a flight attendant, right? You're traveling, you're earning money. You could work on a cruise ship, but those are not necessarily a form of digital nomad. You've got a job, okay? And somebody tells you when to be there and when you can leave and all that. Those are jobs that require you to travel, but a digital nomad has a lot more freedom, okay? They actually get to choose where they go and when they want to go. And I think that's a cool thing too, because, maybe it's hot in your area in the summertime and you want to go to a cooler location. You may go north, or vice versa. Maybe it's super cold in your location. You want to go south and live where it's warm. You can do that as a digital nomad. There's so many different ways for digital nomads to make money while they travel, but I want to go over a few of them so you can kind of get an idea. So a great way for entrepreneurs to make money on the road is to start some kind of digital business. In fact, this is one of the most popular ways a digital nomad earns a living while they travel. There are endless opportunities. I mean, there's different things I make money on to earn money and do it all online. You just have to be creative and figure out what you can provide online that people are willing to pay for. Now, let's talk about some of the key parts. Whether it's information that people are looking for, like consulting, advice, e-courses, to some type of professional services, it really depends on your skill set and passion. And keep in mind, whatever your skill set is, you can change it. You can learn new skills, okay? So don't say, well, I don't know how to do this or that. You can learn pretty much anything. Cameron, what's going on, buddy? I just saw you jump in there, and more people are trickling in. It's even better if you have some professional skills that set you apart from other people. Okay, such experiences like maybe you're working at an advertising agency or you're a certified public accountant or whatever it is. Professional services are one of the best and most lucrative ways to make money with business online, but it's certainly not the only way. One of the most popular ways to make money online is creating a blog that aligns with your experience and passion. And I kind of I do a vlog here, right? Because I'm doing these videos and I'm talking to you guys. But even though blogging is tough, if you have to actually physically write, like I don't have to physically write, I'm sitting here talking, okay? It's technically a hobby until you can make money at it. It can be a great springboard into building a brand and branching into many different businesses. And I did just the opposite. I had a business online, and then I branched into doing courses and, digital marketing and videos and all that stuff. In fact, a lot of people who do that will have websites as well as a few other businesses, including, digital media type stuffs or media and marketing consulting type things, because people know how to do it once you get a brand online. Like I've had people hire me, for consulting type things. So once you establish your brand a little bit, you can go in a whole lot of different directions. Now, the question is this legitimate? Can you really make money online? Are you really going to be able to make money online? Starting your own business is not easy. I'm going to tell you that. There's a lot to learn. There's a whole lot of entrepreneurs and business owners. You have to master a lot of different skills, from accounting to web design to SEO to copy to writing to social media to a whole bunch of legal crap. You got to know all this stuff, okay? It doesn't mean you can't farm it out on down the road, but I think you need a good grasp of all these things. So many moving parts to manage. It's really easy to feel overwhelmed, but the very nature of the internet is that you can learn about almost anything. So there's a wealth of information out there. You can watch a video on anything you want and learn how to do it. So saying you don't know how to do something, that's no excuse. If there's anything you don't understand or particularly well at, then find somebody who does, okay? Which brings me to the next thing I'm going to tell you about, and that's freelancers, okay? Freelancing. You can freelance if you want, which means you don't have one sole business. You do all kinds of stuff. If you're starting your own business and it seems overwhelming to you, then consider doing something more simple like freelancing. It's probably the most popular option for professionals around the world to make money while traveling or even while living in various places around the world. Many people who have specialized skills, especially in areas where other people need help, can easily offer those services for a fee. Now, that friend of mine I told you that's always traveling around, he has a USA address. So they think he's in the USA, and it's just an address. You can buy these addresses. You can have these street addresses. And they can also forward all your mail and stuff to you too. So if you want mail forwarded, you can do that. The great thing about freelancing is that you can decide just how much work you want to take on, and you have a greater flexibility in when and how you work. To find work as a freelancer, it's always advisable that you build your own network and get referrals that way. However, there's a lot of sites you can go to also. There's great sites out there. There's Freelancer, there's Upwork, there's Hubstaff, Talent. All of those advertise that they do not charge a fee to the freelancer. There's also Fiverr, where basically people can buy and sell just about anything. Example, I need a photo of somebody jumping a limbo stick on roller skates. Somebody will do it. I'm promise you, if you post that job, somebody's going to do it. It's crazy, but it can be done. Now, I want to talk about some of the top jobs as a freelancer. If you want to go that route, I'm going to just kind of go through a quick list. The first one is web development. Everybody needs a website. No matter what your business is, you need one. It's probably one of the most popular services out there. Let's see here. Let me put some of Cameron's comments in there. Let's see here. He says, my heart is in my mouth. Okay. What else did he say? Many tourists work online too for their expenses. Yes, this is exactly true. And I know a lot of people who do that. I have several friends that are digital nomads, and I'll see them throughout the year because they come through my town, or I'll go through, some meeting or something like that. Yes, they use it to pay their expenses too. That's very true. He knows he's a young guy. He's 14 years old. I think he's been watching since he was 11 or 12, something like that. And he's made money online. So it's actually easier to do this than you think when you're doing, let's say, web development. You don't have to go to school or have any computer training. There's many platforms on the market, such as WordPress, that make it easy for people to use templates, themes to create websites on their own. But many people don't have the time or patience. So it's easier just to hire somebody to do it. And I hire people to do that kind of stuff all the time, and I know how to do it, but my time is more valuable doing something else. If you do have a degree in computers, then obviously you'll be able to offer your clients a lot more, and you may be able to get large deals with bigger companies. But for small freelancers, there's still a lot of money to be made, guys. I mean, 6 figures is not hard at all. You don't even have to work hard to make 6 figures. Web design, similar to the first option, but web design goes a little bit further. To do this, most freelancers have more graphic design skills. They have expensive software such as Photoshop, and it's not that expensive. It's $300 or whatever. They also have more technical knowledge because they need to know how to make the design and technical aspects work together. So web design is a little bit tougher, okay? Computer programmer, maybe you want to do that. Now, this freelance job can get pretty technical. But if you have the skills in this area, then you really do well as a freelancer. I have a guy in India who works on my Magento site, very technical stuff. And, I hire him as I need him, and he does stuff. Many people who have websites want some custom work done, whether it's creating custom design styles, tweaking things, whatever it is, they want somebody to do that stuff for them. Camera's back in there. Let me put you up, buddy. There you are. And he says, it's one time. I want to do it millions of times. Oh, you made money one time. Well, you can. I mean, I did. You can do the same thing. There's no difference. There's no difference in any of us, guys, listening to this right now. There's also opportunities for programmers to make their own website, plugins for people to use on existing sites, as well as making apps. So if you've got that skill or you want to learn that skill, you can do that. The next thing I'm going to tell you about is writing. If you aren't a techie or a designer, perhaps you can write. Another big area for freelancers is offering writing services. In fact, copywriting for companies can be quite a well-paid service. There's people that make millions of dollars a year doing this. You may also be able to provide help in marketing and branding in terms of writing headlines or other text for use. I mean, if you write a headline for an email or some sales page and it makes them a lot of money, they don't mind paying you money. But it's more than just writing copy. Sometimes people need help writing presentations, product descriptions, reports. You could specialize in writing product descriptions for Amazon. I've seen people who provide essay writing help online. They've been able to use their own writing skills to earn some cash to fund their travels around the world. It's really pretty cool. There's are even other areas where you can specialize your writing, including rewriting text. Basically, taking existing copy and changing it completely while preserving the meaning. This will often happen. Let's say a Chinese company has a description of the product, but it's not written grammatically correct for the American audience. So you can go in and do that for them. SEO copywriting. This is a specialized and highly valuable skill for companies who want their websites to rank well on search engines like Google. Editing. If you have a good eye for detail, this is a great opportunity because so many people need editors, from articles to websites or even a book. Okay. I mean, I hire book editors to help me with my book. Social media content. There's a lot going on with social media today. And for businesses, it's not as simple as writing what you're thinking about in the moment. Okay. Many companies are looking for people to help them write their posts and create all that content that they share. Another big thing, and I see a lot of Americans do this, is teaching English online. English is a language that, you know, the entire world uses. So if you're a native English speaker, then another great way to do that is to teach people English online. There's this guy, one guy I knew, he quit his job in the United States to teach English in China for just over a year. It was an amazing way to connect with another culture, depending on the country, and earn a really good living. So you can also do that. What else can we do here? What else can we do? You know, it's cool to stay in one place, but for a while, but you also get the experience of the culture, like a local. Like being a teacher can be time consuming. And if you're not actually a digital nomad because you are tied to school location, so another option is to become an online teacher. Okay, if you don't want to teach in a school, something like that. Every day we're seeing more and more online opportunities to teach English. This is a really great way to continue your travels and to have more flexible lifestyle and being able to make money from wherever you are. And you think about this, if you're a native English speaker, that's your skill right there. That's your skill. The only issue is that you must have really good internet. Okay. Not always easy to find in some parts of the world. So before you travel to somewhere, you want to figure that out. Next thing is you can be a translator. From my experience, is that while traveling, there's so many countries that have tourists. Our eyes have really been opened up to the need for language translation. It's not just the speaking translation that appears in person, which they very well may pay you for also, but it's the writing translation. So many companies are doing businesses in other countries and they need their product descriptions, marketing materials, etc., translated to other languages. I see this all the time on Amazon. You know, there's foreign country or companies that have a product on there, but the description is not written. I mean, it's obviously not written by a native speaker. So you can approach those companies and say, hey, I can work on this for you. I can make it better and I can help your sales. You can also be a virtual assistant, you know, and you're going to do just about anything from scheduling to buying tickets to setting up a hotel room, any of that stuff. Let's see here. Let me get up here to some of Cameron's comments here because he is in there. Let's see what he's got going on. He says, sir, should I do course of artificial intelligence or web designing? It doesn't really matter. You know, I got to tell you, I couldn't recommend that to you because it's whatever you want to do. It's whatever you're happy with. It's whatever, you know, jerk your chain, whatever you like doing, do that thing because you're going to be a lot happier. I mean, one thing could pay a little bit more than the other, but if you don't like doing it, why do that? Just pick the stuff that you want to do. That's my recommendation. Why should be anyone 18 to work? You don't have to be 18. You know that. You know that. Nobody knows how old you are online. Nobody knows. If you're writing copy for somebody or you're doing editing or whatever you're doing, nobody knows how old you are. They don't even care. I don't care if an 18-year-old does my, you know, copywriting or if a 78-year-old does it. If it's good, it's good. You know, age is not a barrier online. And I see a lot of people do that. They say, well, I'm too old to this or I'm too young to do this. Not online, you're not. They don't even know who you are. Other opportunities for freelancers, let's kind of graze on those a little bit. Video editing is a big one. I have a video editor and he does editing for me. What else? Social media manager. Maybe you're good at social media. Maybe you're really good at doing posts and getting interaction. Well, you could do that for businesses and get paid. Audio recording, voiceover, or book reading. I hired a guy to read my book and that's an audio. Okay. Internet researcher, seriously, this is a thing. Internet researcher, where they go out there and they gather information for people. Content development is another thing. You could do customer service if you want, illustration, animation. Maybe you're artistic and you can do design, accounting, tax preparation, sales, software experts. Like maybe you're good at PowerPoint or Excel and people need work done in that. Now, let's talk about this. Remote work has really taken off, and there are more companies than ever that are open to letting employees work remotely. If you have a great job that is suitable for remote working, then another option is to see if you can take your job on the road. Does it matter to them where you live? I have a friend who's a female. She's been on the road for about 3 years now, and she works for a marketing company, and they don't care where she's at as long as she gets stuff done. If you're already working remotely for your company, then this should be easy transition. Why do they care what town you're in? Okay, it really depends on your schedule and if you need to set time zone for meetings. I know my wife's sister is an attorney, and she worked for a law firm in Virginia, and she moved to Hawaii, and they said that's fine. You just got to work from 2 a.m. to 8 a.m. So that's what she does, or whatever the hours are. I know she starts at 2 a.m. It's probably 2 to 10 or 11, something like that. They don't care. She's an attorney. She doesn't do the type of law where she's in court or any of that. If you're not yet working remotely, but your job could be done off-site, then you might want to consider asking your company if it's possible to work remotely. There's plenty of people who are requesting this and having success with it. Although not every company is okay with this. And if they're not, you can always apply to another company. You can say, hey, I want to do this. Being able to maintain a good and steady job that you enjoy and also being allowed to work remotely so you can travel is a dream scenario for some people. You can do this stuff, especially for those of you who are not comfortable with being an entrepreneur, running your own business and dealing with all the stresses of building businesses and all that. If you don't want to do that, you don't have to. There's a lot of opportunities for you. One thing I really want to make clear is that a digital nomad lifestyle is not all about hammocks and beaches. Okay, you're not going to be sitting on a beach with a laptop and a Corona beer on the side. Okay, while being a digital nomad is often marketed online and through social media is a very glamorous lifestyle, most who are actually living well will tell you it's really hard work. It's not always due to the work itself, but the lifestyle can actually pose a challenge for you. Okay, don't get me wrong, I wouldn't trade it for anything, as I know most digital nomads wouldn't either, but it's really important to understand that you won't be sipping margaritas on the beach and you won't be chilling with your laptop on the beach for an hour a day. You're going to have to go somewhere. You're going to have to actually work. But the trade-off is that during this time, you get to explore amazing places. You can spend your evenings watching the sunset on the beach on your weekends, exploring ancient cities and cultures. You get to see the world. There's never been a time in my lifetime or before that where you could actually travel the world and get paid and be your own boss. It's just never happened before. I think there's some tremendous, Cameron says gaming too. Yes, gaming is another big one. And I don't know anything about gaming. I don't game. I don't know anything about it, but that's a way to do it. There's some really big benefits of being a digital marketer. First off, all right, and I think the biggest one is the freedom to live anywhere you want. I think that's pretty cool. Now, I live anywhere I want. I looked at the entire United States and I said, north of Austin looks pretty good. The cost of living is good. I can build a nice house there. It's centrally located to the United States. I can fly anywhere I want. And sometimes during the year, it gets really hot. It's really hot here now. It's like 100 degrees. But you know what? It's a trade-off for me. Also, the flexibility to travel wherever, whenever, and however long you want. I can do that, which is really nice. I have a factory in Ohio in the United States, and I have a fulfillment center in Utah in the United States, but I don't need to go to those places, okay? I can manage all that from my computer, and my wife helps manage that in her businesses. She can do the same thing. Let's see here. Cameron's got a comment. He's upset about something. What are you upset about, Cameron? He says, I'm really stressed because of my YouTube account. Well, fill me in. What is stressing you out about that? I want to know what's stressing you out. The other thing, you can explore new destinations and cultures. What else? What else have I got on my list here? You can try new foods. I love doing this. Okay. New cultures have new foods. It opens your eyes, your mind, your heart to new people, friends, ways of thinking. These experiences really do open up your mind a lot. You can learn about yourself and confidence in your abilities. You can possibly save money. For example, if you make US dollars live in Mexico, your cost of living is way lower. So you could really sock away a lot of money and plan for your retirement. See the world in a whole new way. Now, are there downsides? Yes, there are downsides. Let's talk about some of those. Dealing with visas, immigrations, always looking for great places to stay. That's hard. And it takes discipline because it's not always playtime. You still have to work. All right. You got to work. It's not just hanging out on the beach. Balancing work and travel is not always easy. If you have to be at a meeting, online even, you can't necessarily be in an airplane flying somewhere. The internet can be a real pain depending on your location. Time zones can wreak havoc on your routines. Like if you have to have, let's say, a 4 or 5 a.m. Zoom meeting with somebody, you get lonely sometimes, especially if you're by yourself. Feelings of loneliness, especially if you are by yourself, that's tougher. Being far away from family and friends in case of emergencies or life events, you don't have anybody to support you. Constant traveling can be exhausting and difficult to get work done. So there are downsides to this too. It's important to know that you can see the digital nomad lifestyle being promoted online, especially on social media. It doesn't always tell you the full story. Yes, so I'm kind of in between. So I told you in 2019, I was in 6 countries and on 2 cruises. I don't travel all the time. I don't like to travel all the time, but I do like to travel. So, if I make 5 or 6 trips a year, 7 trips a year, that's good for me. All right. So you could pick any level of this you want. I always maintain a home. Some people don't maintain a home. And I don't rent it out or anything like that. I could get house sitters. And actually, I do have a house sitter, but normally I don't. But we have pets. So, and that's another thing. If you've got pets, you got animals, who's going to take care of those pets when you're traveling? You got to kind of work that out. The benefits are absolutely amazing, but it's not perfect. For me, the benefits outweigh the downside. So I do a lot of travel, but I'm not a total digital nomad. But you've seen doing this for years, I've made changes to my lifestyle to help minimize the downside to it. What about how to travel for free? All right. You hear about this. Is it possible to travel for free? And the answer is yes. Let's see here. Let me put some of Cameron's comments up there. What has he got going on? He says, in Fiverr, I told you people sell their builds for money. Yes, Fiverr's a good site for that. I got terminated for no reason on YouTube. Well, you can dispute that, Cameron, and I don't know why they terminated you or what's going on, but you can dispute that. So I would do that first off. I always wanted to visit Germany. Then you should do it. If you've always wanted to do anything, guys, I think you should do it. Now, it is possible to earn rewards travel by travel hacking, okay? Your way to earning points with credit cards and things like that. The other day, some company, I can't remember the credit card company, but they said apply for a credit card, and if you spend $2,000 in the first 90 days, we'll give you $100. Well, I spend money all the time on my business, and I always spend more than $2,000 in 90 days. So I went ahead and got that card. And when the card comes in, I'm going to go ahead and put $2,000 on it, pay it off, and get $100. I've done this a lot. I think I have 21, 22 credit cards right now. And almost all of them came with some type of bonus points or cash if I spent X number of dollars. And since I spend so much on my business, I can just grab those cards. And the other thing it does for me is it builds up my credit, because when I get these cards, I pay them off. I don't leave balances on them. So I've got a lot of money, available to me in credit cards with that many credit cards. However, some of you may be asking the question because you've seen all those advertisements about how to travel the world for free and make money. So a lot of people really think that it's a thing. And I don't want to bust your bubble for this, but they've used the term free to get your attention in order to sell their product or service. And they probably make money selling that to more people than just you. And that's another story. Nothing is really free. I was driving down the road yesterday with my wife, and there was a sign that was stuck in the ground. And it was a white sign, and somebody had written on there, fixer-upper properties, just need investor. And then they had a phone number there. And I know that, a real investor is not going to look at that sign and go, gee, this guy's got a magic marker and a white sign, so I think I'm going to give him my money to invest in real estate. But that guy, that girl, whoever did that sign, probably went to some investment type seminar, took a course, and they said, this is all you got to do is put signs all over town and you're going to get investors. That's probably what happened to him. So if it sounds too easy, it's probably too easy. One scenario that happens a lot is that a hotel may offer, let's say, a free stay, but in return, they may ask you to write a review online or even write a blog post for your experience, provide them with photos, post on social media daily, or make a video on YouTube. And you can do this stuff, and that stuff's real. But you got to be really careful for ones that say, I'm going to give you a 1 week cruise, but you got to come to our timeshare. You don't want to go to this. You don't want to go to this unless you really want to be beat up. Okay. It's not fun at all. Sometimes they also want you to provide them with footage and grant the rights to the use of those videos, images, however they want in the future for their marketing. Okay. So they may want it for that, but you can make money doing that. Plus, if you get a free hotel room, who is paying for your transportation? What about your food, your cell phone, your student loans, all that other stuff? So just getting a hotel room isn't enough. Freebies don't pay the bills at the end of the day. You need actual cash. You need money. Don't get me wrong. There's nothing wrong with bartering or exchanging for work or services. It's a wonderful way to get experiences to share, especially, okay, for those of you with low budgets. Okay, if you want to do that, it's a win-win and a great deal. Now, the question I get asked, and I'm gonna jump off here 1 second because we're right at 10:30. Can I just quickly make money backpacking? Okay, if you're trying to make a career as a digital nomad and you prefer to just make a little bit of money on the side because you're traveling on a budget, then that is totally possible. You could just pick up some odd jobs here and there. You can do a bit of work exchange to help you along your travels. If you're backpacking on a budget, let's say, there's many hostels that will offer work in exchange for lodging, as well as tour companies. There's even websites such as Workaway, and there's one called WWOOF, which will allow you to stay somewhere for a period of time and do some work to help them in exchange. You could also pick up some odd jobs too. And I want to go through a real short list here real quick of things you could do if you want to do that. You could trade your skills, such as plumbing or building or carpentry or whatever. You could work that for a while. You could be a bartender for a while. You could do gardening or farming. You could do health and beauty skills. You could be a yoga teacher, massage therapist, haircuts, whatever you want to do. You could do event and party planning for people, become a DJ or a host or something like that. You could also sell stuff like graphic design, artwork, clothing, that type of thing. Guys, there's a lot of ways of doing this. There's a lot of ways to make money. So if you want to be a digital nomad, if you want to do these things, let's see here. Let me look. Okay. Let me look here. What is this one here? It says Pakistan is having taxes and China shut down our electric city. Oh, no, that's not good. That's not good. And I got to get to Pakistan too. He says investment. Let's see here. Hug getting paid for chilling. Yeah, it's nice to get paid for chilling, isn't it? But guys, I think I've presented to you a lot of stuff. Now, you may not be watching this live and you didn't have a chance to put anything in the chat section. Put it in the comments section. I'm going to go back through today, as a matter of fact. I am traveling at the end of this week here. I'll be on the East Coast of America. And I leave, I think, on Thursday, and I come back next Tuesday, something like that. So I'm going to be gone, but I will be here again on Wednesday. I'm going to hope to be here one more time on Wednesday before I leave town, but then you won't see me again until next Wednesday. So don't miss this Wednesday's live because it's going to be a good one. Guys, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for all your kind comments. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. If you haven't done so, turn that red button gray and ring the bell. Turn all bell notifications so you're notified. My bell's moving here. So you're notified every time that I go live or if I upload a video. Thank you so much for watching today, and I'll see you guys on Wednesday.